Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli with Little Blue, and that's right. And he's joining me for part one, most likely, and that is, of course, we are, of course, reviewing, and again, Little Blue's joining me for part one, the review of Star Wars Visions, the next Star Wars series on Disney Plus, and another animated series, and this time it's anime in the style of anime. What do we have to say about so far? I mean, we had before we record as we record this, before we recorded this, we had given it a watch. That was actually my second time watching this. It was his first time watching it. We watched the first 3 episodes, but for part 1, well, we're of course reviewing part 1 too. So, what do we have to say about the first 2 episodes, the duel and Tatooine? Well, starting with the duel, of course.
Well, starting with anime.
Now, the whole from the beginning, from your thoughts on Star Wars Vision so far and up to episode 1.
The whole style of anime is, I've always been fascinated by it. I've always admired it and appreciated it. Never got into it.
Me neither.
The stories, I just can't get into it. This I liked. I liked especially the first episode, the duel.
And it's Star Wars.
So. And it's Star Wars. It was the style, the anime was spot on. The style of animation they did in the anime style was excellent. The storyline, especially in the first episode, was really good. The duel, I liked it.
Yeah. And it was like kind of taking place, I guess, because of the events with the First Order, because the stormtroopers, obviously.
Exactly.
You recognize those stormtroopers, so.
But it seemed to be between the time that the Empire fell and the First Order, maybe along the same time frame of the Mandalorian.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what I gathered. But I think there's different timelines in each of these episodes. They're kind of encapsulated into their own storyline. So you get each episode is different. They're not tied together that I can tell. It looks like they're independent stories, but they're really good ones. Now, the twins, I think, is going to be a continuation at some point.
Yeah, but we're of course talking about episodes 1 and 2, or do we want to include part 3, episode 3 in this too?
With the twins?
Yeah,
we certainly can.
You know what? Might as well.
Yeah, it's
as we're talking about this and going on, and well, you already know the title, so okay, we'll include episode 3 into this. So
yeah.
Because we'd watched it, so
I could skip to Tatooine Rhapsody. I was a little. It was okay. It ended well.
But Tatooine, but we're now getting to Tatooine Rhapsody. This is with like a band and such.
Yeah, rock band, and it did to me that in Star Wars just doesn't mix. You know, it's like we had it with Flash Gordon with Queen doing the soundtrack.
But there's no doubt that like musicians and such are in Star Wars.
Well, of course, we saw. We saw the Max Rebo band from
and that
Star Wars.
And yes, in Return of the Jedi.
Exactly.
And in episode 4, New Hope, that Cantina band.
Yeah, the Cantina band, which was the more unique one, I think.
Yeah.
But this one was rock based. It like I said, it had its moments, and the end was really. I liked how it ended.
Jabba making an appearance.
Yes, Jabba and Boba Fett.
Most notably, Boba Fett. Correct.
Yes. And Tamora Morrison did the voice, which I thought was very cool.
Of course, yeah.
Lent his voice to his character.
Yeah, he's at times lend his voice to Boba Fett.
Yes.
Before The Mandalorian and this, most notably the games.
Right.
From Boba Fett and Jango Fett.
He's a good sport. He has embraced his character.
And had been waiting for years to do Boba Fett, to do something on Boba Fett.
Sure, he's getting his wish now with the Book of Boba Fett.
He for sure has. All thanks to John and Dave.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm glad he's doing it, because if you look at Boba Fett from the original Star Wars movies versus the way he looks now, he's more of a bruiser now. He looks more the part of Boba Fett. If you look at the first Boba Fett, from Empire Strikes Back,
he was still cool.
He was still cool, but he was smaller. He was scrawnier compared to Tamora Morrison's Boba Fett, because Tamora Morrison he fills out the outfit. I mean, he fills it out. He's big, and he looks like somebody you don't want to mess with. And I think they kind of do that in this episode. He looks a little more closely to the way he looks in, from The Mandalorian.
Almost about the same height, I would assume, like how Jeremy Bulloch was.
Yeah.
The body performance of Boba Fett.
Exactly. So
okay, So that, and I guess like in that episode, like Boba Fett's sense of communication, the track, to let them know where they're going.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, and there's a song number, of course, as obvious in that. But now jumping to episode 3, which we are of course going to include because why not?
Yeah, why not?
We'd already watched it, and it might as well include it to part 1 of our review of Star Wars Visions. But episode 3, Twins, that was quite interesting.
It was very interesting. You had basically almost good versus evil.
Yeah, and I think like the brother almost looked like he was wearing like a Darth Vader kind of wannabe suit.
Yeah, but he was good.
Just about.
They were both born of the Force, but
the sister turned to the dark side.
Yeah, seemed to favor the dark side, where he seemed to favor the light.
Yeah,
and
but was not on either side. Empire and
yeah, he wanted,
and he still had an X-wing.
He basically swore no allegiance to either side.
Yeah.
So he might say he was probably more of the anarchist, but she was definitely
Empire.
Definitely, driven by the Empire.
And the first time I was watching this episode, I couldn't believe what I was seeing because they're literally out in space. Literally no spacesuits or anything like that.
Well, and even with even as powerful as Leia was with the Force, we saw how it nearly killed her to be out in space and to pull herself back to the ship. She couldn't withstand it, but apparently they can, which says something about their power. They're obviously extremely powerful, force sensitive,
with the Force,
individuals. So we can't really call them Sith or Jedi because she would be closer to the Sith than he would be closer to the Jedi. He's close to the Jedi, but he's not. Evidently, he is not a Jedi. He apparently had sworn an allegiance to the Empire, but realized that it was not for him, and he didn't even want to be associated with the Republic. So, there's that.
Yeah, and at one point, because that like holocron or whatever it was, and eventually like the Imperial ship gets destroyed, and they're separated far from each other.
Exactly.
And they're on Tatooine, aren't they? Him and the droid.
Yeah, they crash land.
Yeah. Do you remember their names? I forget.
Do not remember their names.
But who cares? Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
We get the idea of who they are.
Watch the episode. It's good.
Yeah. So maybe from looks as though there could be a part 2 to this, and all of the episodes have been released, but I just need to watch the rest.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to turn up again at some point.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a continuation the way the story ended. So
there you go. So that's that, and the first 3 episodes were good.
Yeah, and
just episodes 1 and 3, as you said. Episode 2,
yeah, but that's it. I can see where they could continue any of those 3 episodes into in another episode. They all ended where the main characters kind of moved on, but you don't really see where they move on to.
Yeah.
So they could certainly continue on to, with another storyline with those same characters. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it in the next season.
Right. That's true. So, so anyway, so the first 3 were good, and until watching the rest of the episodes. So that. Yeah. So, and I didn't tell you about this. Even George Takei has a voice role in this too, in one of the episodes.
Very interesting.
He previously did in an episode of the Clone Wars.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, just have to keep an eye on his voice,
Yeah, it's pretty. It's you can definitely distinguish it from any other voice.
Oh yes.
Especially if there's an "oh my" line in there.
Yeah.
Which I doubt there is.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Everybody just loves doing that. Yeah. That all came from, I guess, when George Takei appeared on that sitcom with John Lithgow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where it started?
I think so.
I think he's at a restaurant, he's looking at a menu, and oh my.
Yeah.
So that. So the first 3 episodes were good. Most notably 1 and 3.
Yes.
Episode 2, just as you were saying.
Yeah, it was kind of I don't know. I just, to me, Rock and Star Wars just doesn't mix, so... That's just my opinion.
But it's in there, and it works in different ways.
It does.
But in this one, just as we were saying.
Like I said, it ended better than it started, I thought. So
yeah, exactly. So with all that being said, guys, that's our this has been part 1 of our review of Star Wars Visions. Still, last thought, any last words and thoughts on it?
May the Force be with you.
Okay, that. So there you go. And for me, we hope you enjoyed our review, the part 1 review of Star Wars Visions. Stay tuned for part 2. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And we'll see you guys in the next video / review video. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Peace out. And may the Force be with you.